Hey everybody. Alright, so today we are going to try to get our transmission transfer case in our little Jeep, which is right here. Kind of got it somewhat started as far as, flywheels on there. Got the little plate. As you can see, the clutch is there. We've got the pilot bearing in, all that good stuff. But I do need to change. Let's see here, this guy right here. I ordered a new one of these. That's for the brain dead. I can't even think of what it's called. The bell crank. So I'm gonna get that swapped out, and then I will go ahead and get this thing. Oh, and I'm gonna have to take these shifters off, I think, just to help get it through the floor and aligned and everything. At least this one. I'm not sure about the other two, but we'll go ahead and play that by ear. But anyways, let me get that changed out and I'll start working this thing under the Jeep, and when I get something done I'll turn this back on. Thanks. Alright, so got it in there. I still lack the bell crank from here to here. I'm going to try to get that in next probably. Just started trying to get the shifters back in, so I'm going to continue to work on that. I just wanted to turn this thing on for a moment, show you guys where I'm at. I'll turn it back on in just a while. Alright, so as you can see, I got the bell crank in here. What I wound up doing was I took the isolator out right here, and I dropped the bolt out of this side as well as the other side. That one. I just ran it till it was flushed out on both sides, just to give me a little drop here, just so I could get this out. And then once this was out, I actually came up front, and right here I took the nut off of here, which is for the motor plate, and then I took I don't know if you can see them, but I took the bolts off of the engine mount, so that whole thing moved around. Came over here, I took the bolt off, or the nut, sorry, on the motor plate as well, and I put my transmission jack actually right here, a little under the tranny, a little under the motor, picked it up so I could get that out, and was able to push it over, slide the bell crank on, push it back, and reassemble everything. So that actually is on there and looking good. Next problem is cross member mount. I have a mount that I bought a while back, this guy, but as you can see, there's holes in here, which it doesn't look like it on camera, but when I'm looking at it at a different angle off camera, it looks like it would line up. But as you can see, the other part of it, there's no way those holes are even close. And that's the same. It looks bad on camera and not looking through the camera. So I don't know if I inadvertently threw something away that was connected to the other mount that I thought was just part of it and was going to come new. That would bolt here on the transmission. So I'm going to do a little research tonight, see what I can find out. Worst case scenario, I guess I'll fabricate something. But for right now, I'm going to call it quits for right now, and I'll be back out here in the morning, and I'll let you know what I find out, and we'll continue on. Alright, so I'm back out here. Did a little bit of looking around last night on the internet. I found a couple of forums, I found some pictures, and it sure does look like there is another plate, or at least I've seen guys making a plate that bolts to here and then bolts to the mount, which we have right here. So I'm going to look around and see if I've got some metal that may work. I believe I do. The only thing is, I've noticed just now, these are at two different heights. I was thinking it would be a simple just put one plate, but it's going to be a little more difficult than that unless I just rely on one at the back to hold it or one at the front to hold it. But since there are four, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they probably want all four to be holding it. So all I can figure is, when I was taking this thing apart, since it was so dirty and crusty, that when I pulled the mount off, it was just all a ball of grease. So I was like, it's all the mount. It's going to be coming on a new one. But At least that's what I'm assuming I did, because I'm looking around for it and I couldn't find anything. So, but anyways, that's the plan. I'm going to see what I can fabricate here. And let me get rolling on this and I'll turn the camera back on. Thanks. Alright, so looking around in my little bit of metal I have, I found this guy. Pretty thick, and it's a little over 4, close to 4.5, which seems like it would be about right. So I think I'm going to drag this inside and then get the chop saw out, cut it up, and see what we can do. Alright, so that's what I came up with. I'm going to go ahead and set that in there and let's see what it looks like. Alright, well, I can't get the front 2 bolts in because they actually touch on the rubber here. So, but, I don't think I can get the camera here. But you can see that one lines up. And if I can get that one, yeah, you can kind of sort of see that one's lined up too. So, I guess what I'm going to do is take this guy back out, bolt that on, and then slide this in after the fact. I think that's what I'm going to try. First, I'm going to get this thing out, paint it, and then I'll go ahead and do all that good stuff. So I'll turn this back on in just a while. Alright, so as you can see, we got it in there, all bolted down. As I had mentioned, there was a difference between the front mounting pad and this back mounting pad. I had thought about cutting another little strip, sticking it in here and welding it, but I don't know, I kind of thought it might be a little bit too much material. So I just opted to put a few washers in there, so that's what I did to try to level it out. But yeah, it's bolted in there, it's bolted on the top as well. We got it bolted underneath and bolted on the front as well. So I'm going to say that we were able to get this done. We got the transmission in. Pretty much everything is hooked up. I still have to mess around with the linkage a little bit, but other than that, we are good. So I'm going to call this a done video, and thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.